So Adrian, we just finished financial year end. Looks like we survived it. And yeah, we had an alignment camp. You just reminded me, just like the Springboks, and to talk about what the year holds for us. But it's always been interesting for me to hear about your story around how the firm started. And I was thinking about it this week. What were some of the things that happened in 2009? And so the movies that came out that year was Avatar, Slumdog Millionaire. Kanan Moody was 6 years old, so it just makes you think like how old the firm actually is. But then I think one other very important thing was the world was in financial crisis times, and you took the leap to start a law firm. Maybe I want to hear about what that was like and what made you make the big move at the time.
Thanks, SG. Actually, that reminded me of something I found quite funny in memory, but not at the time, was that starting the firm in July 2009 was towards the end of the global financial crisis. And when I announced it to my family, I got a message from one of my family members to say, "This is a very courageous move, Adrian," not meaning courageous at all. But really what happened is that I was at one of the largest law firms in Africa and had always wanted to start my own thing. But when you're in an institution like that, you don't really think that there's an opportunity. You think, how do I line up listed clients as my clients, as listed companies as my clients? How do I generate work? And it's surely going to be impossible. And then really had an opportunity to tap the work of a busy attorney who said, if you want to start, I can give you my excess work. And what that very quickly did is led to an obvious strategic positioning for the firm as we grew into working with owner-managed companies really bent on growth on an international scale, which is completely neglected at that point in time because everyone was working for fairly conventional clients. And there weren't really unconventional clients in 2009. There weren't a lot of technology startups. As we started to work on this and blaze the trail there, we found that there was both a desire for lawyers who could provide our services, but also a lot of satisfaction in working with those kind of clients because you got such an intense view on their growth path and being part of that. And we found that very rewarding, and as a result, we've never looked back. Okay,
and what were those early years like? How many people were in the firm at that?
So initially it was just one, despite being called Dommisse Attorneys, plural. And that first employee on the first day built his own desk. Actually,
okay.
Yeah,
right.
Famously. I remember that's the great memory of mine, building my desk the night after a farewell party from my previous law firm, which the desk building took a bit longer than it should have. And those early days were amazing because like any startup business, you really are taking any work that you can get. I was referred work from an architect firm, for example, architecture firm, which we would never normally work with at the moment. But as a result, the more work you did, the more contacts you built, the more natural sort of rhythm and momentum of referrals that we got. And gradually, we got enough work to grow, and here we are.
And have you felt that your experience of starting your own firm has taught you how to relate with our typical clients, owner-managed businesses, where you've gone through the similar story yourself? And I've always found that you're almost like a legend in the entrepreneur marketplace in South Africa, because people know Adrian Dommisse started his own firm. You were one of the first people in the country who started a firm focused on entrepreneurs. And have you found that was a healthy way to connect with your clients and actually be on the same page as them to understand what it's all like, what it's like to be an entrepreneur and understand a bit of the pains and joys of it?
Yeah, I think we had that common ground of risk, and this can all go south very easily within a few weeks in the case of a law firm because you don't have dedicated clients or revenue flow. But I don't think it was so uncommon to start a law firm. But as you say, the unique element was us all committing as a partnership group to work with the unique client profile of high growth technology startups, and they naturally were quite vivacious, dynamic. They really responded well to different ways of working. So we as most of our clients know, we far prefer working with fixed fee quotes, with deliverables. We love working with using different technology and engaging. I mean, when we started our firm, a lot of law firms weren't even comfortable with Skype, let alone regular meetings on Zoom and Teams and so on. And certainly tools such as Slack were were distrusted. I mean, email wasn't even very well trusted by a lot of law firms.
Yeah.
So as we embraced the same tools that they used, it just gave us common ground to work on.